What's going on? My name is Tim. I'm one of the co-founders here at Skyrocket Marketing, and today I want to talk to you about 5 headline copywriting formulas to help you skyrocket your conversions. So let's go ahead and dive right in. So if you are new here to the channel or you are a returning viewer, we have kind of been gone the past couple of weeks. We've been super busy working on all kinds of projects and trying to really get a few things in place for the next few months coming up. So unfortunately, we had to skip out on doing a couple of these lives, which of course, has been a little on the sadder side of things, but that's why I wanted to come back in this video and be able to really talk to you about the 5 headline copywriting formulas that we use to really increase our conversions. And I know once we go through these 5, you are really going to be amazed at how well using and changing and updating your headlines are going to be. You are going to enjoy it. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, this is a document that we have. This is something that we pretty much reference time and time again. And we actually went out and we actually put together not just 5, but 10 proven headline formulas that we consistently use, whether they're for ourselves, we use them with our clients. Like I said, if you're wanting to use them in emails, you're wanting to use these headlines for sales pages, advertising, right? Whether you're doing Facebook ads or you're doing pay-per-click ad campaigns, headlines are what's really going to drive the most when it comes to conversions, because it's normally the big thing that people see. So we want to make sure that we get the headline right. And I do have a link for all 10 of these headlines down in the description below. So you can go and grab these formulas so that you can start using them in your copy. And like I said, we're only going to go through 5 of them because I kind of want to deep dive into 5 of them and really explain the psychology behind these headlines and why they work. So, like I said, let me jump on over here and we will scroll down. So the first set of headlines is how-to headlines. So how-to headlines are probably the most common amongst all headlines that are out there. And that's just really that's just really the big thing, right? How-to headlines. Let me see if I can, maybe that. There we go. That way we can make sure and you can see the entire headline itself. Okay. So, right, like I said, how-to is probably the most common, but it's because it works really, really well. And you can see here we have how to result without limiting belief. So essentially, the example that we have here is how to have copy that converts without hiring an expensive copywriter, right? And this is the big thing. Like I said, we want to use these types of frameworks because we know that people are looking for some kind of result, right? Result driven. And this really comes down to understanding your market, understanding what they're kind of looking at, what kind of things they're interested in. And then as well, think about the limiting beliefs that they have, right? A limiting belief could be that you can only really get high converting copywriting by hiring an expensive copywriter, right? And the reality is, yes, if you hire an expensive copywriter, the likelihood of you being able to have good copy is higher. But I will say, I have um, a few of our clients and a few of our students that have essentially gone out, paid somebody around like $500, which to me is not a lot of money. But if you're just starting out, you're the solopreneur or whatever, and they paid around $500 for some copy that, to be honest, was a little on the sad side. And that's the thing, though, right? Is just because you spend a lot of money doesn't always mean that you're going to have good copy, right? And this is kind of what we're trying to get at, right? We want to address maybe one of those limiting beliefs because it also drives curiosity, right? So that's the big thing. And curiosity, you'll see throughout a lot of these examples as we move forward. So let's go ahead to the next one here. Let me, there we go. I was going to try and cover up these down here, but that's okay. All right. So how to result even if with their limiting belief, right? So you can see that these have slight variations to them, but they're very similar, right? That's the whole thing, is these are proven frameworks. So we want to make sure that we're following these. So as you can see here, the example is how to increase your website conversions even if you're not even if you're not techie, right? And this is really the big thing, right? Because the limiting beliefs that your customers have, that is what is really going to be drawing them into these headlines, right? Because I know for us, I don't know how many times people talk about that they maybe want to work on their website, or they want to have better conversions, they want to have any of those things, but they just feel like they're not very techy, and they feel very overwhelmed. And that sense of them being really overwhelmed, they end up not doing any of the things to help increase their conversions. So really, this drives a lot more of that curiosity, and we want it to feel like it's talking directly to them. So another really, really good example of a how-to headline. So now if we go down, you can see the exact same kind of thing. So how to result, so you can, and then the benefit of actually doing the thing, right? So as you can see here, the example is how to land more video jobs consistently so you can fire your 9-to-5 boss, right? This is a really, really powerful way of doing it, because I feel like a lot of times we don't always put the benefit behind it, or we don't really think of the benefit in a compelling way, right? And this is the thing, is right, going after and looking at what your market is really looking at. We want it to really have that feeling, so that when people see these headlines, they just have to click, right? It needs to be more essentially painful for them not to look at this thing than to actually look at it, right? Because for a lot of people, and I know some of our subscribers here on the channel come from a video background, right? My background is in video production. That's what I originally had my video background, and that was my very first company I ever ran, was a video production company. And that's the thing, is so I understand this headline, and it makes a lot of sense, right? Because I know that the big thing that a lot of video production companies and a lot of people that are in the video industry struggle with is getting more consistent jobs. So we just tie it in there, right? And you can see that this headline is geared towards more of the people that are doing video production maybe as a side hustle, and they're wanting to grow into the business, but maybe they're doing it on the weekends, they're doing that kind of stuff, but they still have their regular 9 to 5 job. And we know that that's where they're trying to go to. So, like I said, this is kind of the thinking behind the headline. So, I really hope that you can kind of see where we're getting at here with these how to headlines, because, like I said, we just really want people to read them and click, read more, whatever the action is that we're trying to get them to do. All right. So now, one of my favorite types of headlines is what I call counterintuitive headlines. And the reason I really, really enjoy counterintuitive headlines is because they just drive so much curiosity, and they really are a headline that makes it very, very difficult for somebody not to read, because everything that they think or believe to be true, these headlines really turn it on its head. And that's why, like I said, I like to call these counterintuitive um, headlines. So this first one is the counterintuitive to their goal. So what does this kind of look like? So right here, you can see this headline right here, which is the procrastinator's guide to getting stuff done, right? So that's really the big thing here, right? If you read that and you are somebody that maybe is a procrastinator, or you feel like maybe you're not quite a procrastinator, this draws you in, because it's like, well, procrastination is all about not getting things done. And you're telling me that there's an entire guide that's going to teach me essentially how to get done all the time. So, like I said, it just drives a lot of curiosity. And like I said, counterintuitive headlines are one of my favorite headlines. Um, so definitely think about these. Now, if you are really enjoying where we're going so far with these headlines, then I would ask that you subscribe here to the channel to get more useful content just like this. And if you would like, you can also join our texting crew. And as part of our texting crew, anytime that we have these live videos like this, or we post new content, you will be the first to be notified when we have new content coming out, because YouTube is not always the best at notifying you when content comes out. So if that's something that you're interested in, you can text YouTube to the number there and be on the list. Now, let's go ahead to our next counterintuitive headline. And this one is how a counterintuitive with no limiting belief created a whatever your offer is that now and then desired outcome. So like I said, I know that reading this headline this way is not the easiest, and that's why we went through and actually created these ones here. So for this one, I really like this one. It's how a music teacher with no tech skills created a software that now makes 5K in passive income. Right. This is a super counterintuitive headline because, like I said, it's putting together a lot of different things. Now, I will say here the beginning part where it says how a and then it's music teacher. This part does not have to be your target market, right? And what I would put here is somebody or right, for instance, like if I was going to do something, like maybe if our offer, right, because really the offer is learning how to create a software, or maybe it's a white labeled software, whatever it is, right? Whatever our offer is, what is the complete opposite of our offer, right? Like for me, if I was thinking about marketing, then I would say, I don't know, maybe a restaurant owner, maybe an underwater basket weaver, right? Whatever it is, think of who the complete opposite is of your offer. And of course, it needs to be something that's true, right? And like I said, all these are just examples, but the thing is, what are those counterintuitive things, right? And then we put in a limiting belief, which is with no tech skills, right? Because most math teachers maybe have some tech skills, or maybe they don't at all. And if we know that the offer that we have, like I said, maybe we have a white label software that people can go out and start selling on their own, um, or whatever, right? So that's the big thing, is we have to figure out those things, and then what is a desired outcome. We put in the passive income thing just because that is the most popular thing right now, because of the way that the pandemic and all of that has happened. There's a lot more people trying to figure out how to make more money online, have these passive income streams, do that kind of stuff. So we kind of just put that in there. Um, so those are the counterintuitive headlines. Like I said, one of my favorite frameworks to use. And like I said, there's a lot of different ways that you can write these. These are just the two that we use the most, but counterintuitive headlines are definitely my favorite. All right. And now number 3 is way to headlines. So as you can see here, we have the adjective way to desired outcome. So the new way to rank number 1 on Google quickly, right? So the new way, the fast way, the easy way, whatever it is, right? We just kind of that's how we kind of think about it. Now, I prefer this one down here with the way to statement. So essentially, curiosity, way to, desired outcome without limiting beliefs. Right. So, forgotten way to launch high ticket deals without cold calling, or sorry, forgotten way to land high ticket deals without cold calling and emailing. Right. And essentially, like I said, we want it to feel like this is coming down from the heavens, and this is exactly what I'm looking for. I have all these limiting beliefs that I don't want to do cold calling. I don't like cold calling. I don't like any of that, or cold emailing, or I've tried it in the past and it just doesn't work. But I want to land high ticket deals, right? And the curiosity part, like I said, we just like using curiosity words, right? There's a lot of them out there. So, like, forgotten is a really good one because it makes it seem like this is something that worked at one time. And then because of all the things and everything going on, people kind of forgot about it. And it's almost being like rediscovered, right? Really, really great headline. And yeah, so that is essentially way to, right? We're just showing them the way to whatever their desired outcome is. All right. So now let's go down to number 4. And we have the question headline. So question headlines work really, really well too, because when you ask somebody a question, their brain inherently has to answer that question. Whether they actually say something verbal, they will think about it in their mind and they will answer it subconsciously, whatever. And it just really hooks the brain, right? It's very, very difficult for us not to answer questions. And really, if you think about it, when you're in school, you've gone through school at least 12 years of your life if you've gone and just gotten your GED, gone through high school. And then if you have, you've gone to college, it could be longer. And throughout that entire time, all you were doing was answering questions, right? So very, very powerful here. So we have, are you target market problems in your current state? Now, current state is not like the actual state that you live in, but it could be, right? So that's why it's kind of in there that way. But the framework is, are you making these four subconscious mistakes in your sales presentation? Right. And this is something that we want the answer to. We want to know, well, I don't know. Am I making these four mistakes? I don't know what these four mistakes are. What if I am making them and I don't realize I'm making them? Right. Your brain starts running through all of these question and answer kind of things. And at the end of the day, you're just going to have to find out what those four things are and if you are actually doing them. So nice. And that is that one. Now let's go down here. And then the next one is, what do target market goals know that they missing key? So this is kind of like I said, I like to think about it as the missing key, right? Because a lot of people are always trying to find that one missing link, that missing key, that silver bullet, that whatever kind of thing. And you can see here when we read this, what do 100K monthly drop shippers know that they aren't telling you, right? And this is something that I also really like, because it you use your target market's goal, right? The goal that they have, and that may be that they want to become a 100K monthly drop shipper, right? They want to be doing 100K in sales, doing drop shipping, but they just don't know how to get there. Maybe they're close to that, maybe they're just starting, whatever it is. And they are probably going out and consuming content of people that are already successful, right? That's normally what happens, right? When you go and you do research, you're looking at, who are the people that have done it successfully? Now, let me go out and find those people and learn from them. And essentially, what we're doing here is we're telling them that, hey, they're not actually telling you everything. And that kind of gets people thinking, because at the end of the day, I do believe that we as people inherently have this misconception, or maybe it is reality, that people that are successful will never really share exactly everything that they did to become successful, because of maybe fear of competition or any of that kind of stuff. So like I said, this headline really gets the gears turning, really gets people thinking as well. So that is number 4. Now we are coming up on number 5, and that is allowed. So this one is this, like I said, you can kind of see that some of these have a similar framework, but this curiosity allowed us to result in time frame, right? So this hush hush copy tweak allowed us to increase our ROAS by 3.7% in just 1 hour. So this is really, really good, especially if you are trying to use case studies or you have found you're leveraging somebody else's case studies to help prove a point in what you're kind of doing in the product, the service, any of those things. These type of headlines work really, really well to drive that, like I say, curiosity. You can really see that on the backbone of most of these headlines is to really drive the curiosity, because your headline really just needs to get people to click and be engaged. And I believe it really needs to pre-frame them into the information that you're going to give them, right? Because all of this is helping them pre-frame into a sale, right? Because just like this, like if you don't know what ROAS is, you're probably less likely to click on this headline. And that's the thing, is sometimes headlines need to deter people from actually going and seeing the sales message and do that kind of stuff. And I know that that may sound a little counterintuitive or a little weird to some people, but we want to do that because we need to qualify and disqualify people pretty consistently as we kind of move forward and do some of the things. So, like I said, that's really the big thing here with this headline. And like I said, which I really, really like. And you can see that we ended up using the curiosity comes from the phrase hush hush copy tweak. Now, hush hush is something that isn't really used that widely. So to me, it kind of stands out a little bit on its own because it's not um, something you see that much, but it still has that um, connotation that this is something that's kind of a secret and people don't really um, openly talk about. So yeah, like I said, I really, really like this one as well. Now let's go ahead and go down, and here, I'll do this right here. All right. So now this one is the product slash service that allowed target market to big benefit. All right. So let me scroll down here a little more. So this is what we have. So the marketing gradebook that has allowed thousands of course creators to feel confident in understanding their marketing shortcomings and how to fix them. Right. So this one has a lot of stuff packed in there, right? And to some people this may seem like a really, really big headline, but the other thing is I believe that your headlines should be able to 100% sell somebody on the idea, the concept, whatever it is. If your headline cannot sell them and it does not give people enough clarity in exactly what it is, then I think it's failing, right? And I understand that you can't really have clarity and curiosity at the same time, but when you think about it, if you're driving curiosity, you need, the way that they gain clarity is by continuing to read more. So that's the big thing, is like this one, the marketing grade book, there's still curiosity in it, right? The marketing grade book that has allowed thousands of course creators to feel confident in understanding their marketing shortcomings and how to fix them. This gives them clarity that, okay, this marketing gradebook helps people that don't, helps course creators specifically that don't understand what their marketing shortcomings are. And then it also teaches them how to fix those things. So, like I said, we really have to wrap a lot of this up and kind of like I said, we just want to drive that curiosity. But for this one, there is a little bit more clarity. The curiosity is now, how do I get my hands on this marketing gradebook? Because if you're a course creator that's struggling with understanding their marketing shortcomings and really how to fix those shortcomings, then this is something that you are going to want to get. So, like I said, that is pretty much the 5 headline copywriting formulas that are going to help you skyrocket your conversions. So, like I said, those are pretty much the 5 that we have. Now, as you can see, we have the entire document, and there is actually 10. Yes, 10 of these formulas that we have 100% broken down for you. So really all you have to do is go and reference them, and you can pretty much just copy and paste, because at the end of the day, I know that sometimes if you're not very good at copy or you've never done any copywriting, the big thing is you probably sit down, try to come up with something, and then
2,000 years later,
you still have nothing written, and that does not help you in any capacity. So that's really the big thing, is this entire PDF document, everything that we have set up for you, that is 100% for free. So you can go and check it out. Like I said, there is a link in the description below. And once more, if you would like to join our texting crew, where we will send you a text message anytime that we have these lives going out, or we have new video content that comes out here on the channel, and you want to be notified, and not be notified, because like I said, YouTube, sometimes their notification system doesn't work that well, you can go ahead and text that number there and get signed up. So like I said, I hope that this really helps you understand where you kind of want to go with your headlines. And like I said, there's a lot of things that you can do. And as far as helping with conversions, what I would recommend is get the PDF, download it, and literally go through those 10 headlines and come up with at least 10 of each of the headlines for your products and services, and really just focus on one, right? Focus on one product or one service, and come up with 10 different versions of your headline for that one product. Because now, like we've talked about in some previous videos here on the channel, now you can take those headlines and you can start A/B testing them and really start going through and seeing which one is going to drive the highest conversions. So, like I said, there's so many things that you can do, but headlines are the thing that are going to dramatically increase conversions out of pretty much almost anything else that you have, unless it is that you don't have some kind of payment system set up. That is always going to be the number one thing, because if people can't give you money, then you got to start there, right? So hopefully that makes sense. But that's pretty much what I have for you in this video. Like I said, if you have any questions at all, and realistically, what I would like is for you to grab the PDF download, get it, and come back here once you have maybe one or two of your favorite headlines. I would like you to actually post them in the comments, and I would love to see what those headlines kind of look like. I'll try and give you as much feedback as possible on maybe a few things that you can tweak, or if it just doesn't make that much sense, and really just tell you if this is something I would actually click on to kind of go and do. And like I said, we can all give each other kind of some of that feedback moving forward. So like I said, that is pretty much what I have for you in this video. So I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope you got a lot out of it. And if you did, I would ask that you please subscribe here to the channel if you have not already. And I pretty much look forward to seeing you in our next video.